Okay, so for this word problem, it says that you have a photograph with a perimeter of 36. So the first thing I do is maybe draw, let's get a figure going, right? We could draw something that looks to take the shape of a photograph. Now, for part A of the problem, it says determine the number of unknowns and give their names. So for part A, we could say that the unknowns are the length here and the width, right? So for part A, it says determine the number of unknowns. So there are two unknowns. And it says and give their names. I guess so two unknowns, comma, the length and the width. Okay, the length and the width. Now for part B, it says let x be one of your unknowns and indicate what x represents. If we go back to the figure here, what if we let this length be x? Okay, and then it says we're supposed to use a y. So let this width be called y. Okay? So for part B, something like x is the length, right? And then y is the width. Okay? Just forgive this horrible writing. So that's part B, right? Yeah. Then part C, it says translate the problem into a system of linear equations. That's the harder part. If we look back at this picture here where this is x and this is y, well, if this is x, so is this, right? So you can call that x right there. And then similarly, if this is y, so this is also y. Now they tell you that that this photograph has a perimeter of 36. So the perimeter, you get the perimeter by going this edge plus this one plus this one plus this one. So if I go y plus x plus y plus x, that should equal 36. Okay? So maybe I'll write it here on the side. So if I have y plus x plus the other y plus the other x, that should be 36. And maybe, because y and y is 2y and x plus x is 2x, I could just write 2y plus 2x equals 36. Okay? So this is one of the equations we're going to use. We have to set up one more equation. Okay? And the other equation comes from the sentence. It says, in the word problem, it says the difference between the length and width is 2 inches. So the key word is difference, because difference means subtract. So we're going to subtract y and x, right? So the length, what was the length? We called the length x. So we have to go the length and the width has a difference of 2. So I have to go x minus y is 2. So my other equation right here, x minus y equals 2, right? Because this minus sign, that's the difference. And this is the length and this is the width. So the difference between the length and the width is 2, as they said. So this is my other equation. So for this word problem, for part C, it says translate the problem into a system of linear equations. This is my system right here, these two equations. So for part C, my system is 2y plus 2x equals 36, along with x minus y equals 2. So I guess they usually do it like this. Okay, so this is my system of equations. Now for part D, which is the hardest part because we actually have to solve. We have to solve this system. Okay, so let me take this system and let me write it over here so I have some more room. So my system was 2y plus 2x equals 36, and x minus y equals 2. What if you look at this equation here, I want to get this x by itself. So let me take this y and let me move it to this side. So what I'll do is, what if I just go plus y plus y? These ones here, these ones are gone. Okay? So all I have left on this side is the x, and it's going to equal 2 plus y. So I have x equals 2 plus y. Okay? So now that I have x equals this stuff, right? So x equals this stuff. But I see another x right here. So let me take this stuff that's been circled, which is x, right? And put it in right there in parentheses. So this is going to stay the same, this 2 stays the same, this 36 stays the same, except this x is going to turn into this right here. Let me write it right here, okay? So I have 2y, right? That's 2y plus 2, so plus 2. And then instead of x, I have what I said, 2 plus y, still equals 36. Okay? Let me distribute this right there. So this is 2y plus 4, right? 2 times 2, and then 2 times y, that's plus 2y equals 36. I have a 2y and a 2y, so that's a 4y. 4y plus 4 equals 36. Let me subtract 4 from both sides. Minus 4 minus 4. Okay, so these are gone. So I have 4y equals, that's 32, right? Let me write it over here. So 4y equals 32. And then let me divide by 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So then these are gone. And so y is equal to 8. So I have y. So y equals 8. Now to get my x, okay, so I know that y is 8, and now I need x. So I could use this equation or this equation. It doesn't matter. Suppose I use this one because this is easier. This one here. So I would have something like x minus y, which is 8, equals 2. Now I'm going to go plus 8, plus 8. Okay, so these are gone. So x is equal to 2 plus 8, which means x is equal to 10. So I have my x, 10, and I have my y, 8. So for part D, it said solve the system. Okay, so we just solved it, and so for D, I'd say that x is equal to, was it 10? And then y is equal to 8. You can write it like this, or you can write it in x comma y form. It doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Okay, so these are saying the same thing. Then for part E, make sure you have answered the question asked, state the answer in a sentence. So something like in a complete sentence you'd say, the photograph has a length of 10, what were the units? The photograph has a length of 10 inches and a width of 8 inches. Okay, so I know it went kind of slow, or I'm not sure how fast I was going or not, but I just wanted to be clear, you know, try to be as clear as I could. But so we have parts A through E answered. So if you have any more questions, just let me know, man.